But I also want you to not waste your hour with us. I want to make sure that you come away knowing more than you did when you logged on. Okay, Seema wrote, I'm just starting out. We'll be doing more speaking with my book coming out with Dr. John Gray, Marcy Shimoff, and want to leverage the book for paid speaking. Seema, that's fantastic. Do you know that John Gray and Marcy Shimoff were in my first movie, The Keeper of the Keys, which if you remember on Gaia.com, they just renewed for their distribution deal with me for another 5 years, which is very exciting because the movie does so well with them. So if you haven't seen it yet, you'll want to check that out. The Keeper of the Keys. And Jack Canfield's in it too. And I'll mention that. All right, let's go ahead. It's 10:05. So if you're in the chat bar and you haven't said hello yet, please do so. And I hope you have your action guide. It's not a hyperlink on the screen. It is in the chat bar. You'll see at the very top of the chat bar, I have my email, which you can write down, Robin, at lvcsb.com, Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau.com. And then there's a hyperlink for the action guide. And the action guide really helps you follow along. And it's really for you. It's not anything you have to turn in. It's not a test. It's for you to help you see where you are and where you want to be, because you really do need a roadmap to get where you're going. So, all right, let's start with a quick poll. Hi, Brian and Destiny in Oregon. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't know that I've had two people logging in from the same, watching it together. This is exciting. I really hope you'll weigh in a lot. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the chat bar for just a second and ask a poll. Okay, so here we go. What is your financial goal for speaking and or writing? They usually go together like soup and sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. So just click on one of the buttons in the chat bar. Is it financial independence, or to supplement your income, or to establish your credibility as an expert in your field? And usually the first person to click goes 100%. So I like to give it an extra second and see if anybody wants financial independence. If you're speaking, you're an industry expert, there we go. And almost everybody wants to establish their credibility as an expert in their field, which, believe it or not, will translate to making more money. Okay, look at that. That's interesting, isn't it, Karie?
Yes.
We've got 67% want to become more credible experts in their field, which is how you dominate your field, which is how you make more money. Okay, I'm going to end that. We'll go back to our chat bar and navigate all that. All of them. Anya, hi. Thanks for weighing in. I love that. And yes, it really is a mix of everything. The workbook link too, I don't see it. It's at the very top of the chat bar. Let me type it in again. It's http lvcsb.com/is-action guide. There, it's right at the top of the bar, and it's a hyperlink, so you can just click that and off you go. Okay, you can open it in another window, or you can print it out, and it'll just help you follow along. Now imagine, okay, 10:08. I like to watch the clock. I have so much to share. I'm going to go fast, but there will be a replay on Webinar Jam if you want. And if you give me a few hours, I'll edit it down and get rid of the dead time in the beginning. And so by like this evening, you'll be able to watch a nice edited version of this. Imagine earning $5,000, $10,000, or even $25,000 for a 1-hour presentation. Does that sound juicy and exciting? I've booked speakers for more than $30,000 an hour. And that's not even really right, because it's like 45 minutes of talking, maybe 50 minutes and a little Q&A. I'm telling you, you can do this. Insider Secrets was made for you if you have an important message to share, you want to distinguish yourself from the crowded field of what I call general speakers, and we'll get into that in a little bit. You want to become the leading expert in your field, which y'all just said you do. You want to earn thousands every time you speak and have high recurring income. You want to influence and help others and fulfill your potential. Most speakers become speakers because they really feel they have a message to share. You want to discover how the speaking industry really works, and you're ready to start getting paid to speak. If that's you, just type yes in the chat bar. And I'll tell you, there's about an 8-second delay on Webinar Jam. So if you type something in, don't worry about it. I keep my eye on that all the time. Now you're thinking, Who wouldn't this be for? Well, a lot of people really don't want to leverage their passion, their experience, or their message to earn an incredible income and lifestyle. They have, thank you, Rachel. They have great jobs. They're industry experts. They're just speaking occasionally. They're happy speaking for free. It's a fun hobby. I remember I spoke as a guest at a Toastmasters once because I own the Speakers Bureau. I was so afraid of going because they really scream when you do that. Anyway, there was a guy who'd been going to Toastmasters for 26 years and it just suited him. He just liked to talk in front of a room, but he wasn't interested in it as a business. So this is not for them. This is for you if you want to monetize your expertise and your message. Speaking is one of the highest paid professions today. There I am at MPI, Meeting Professionals International up in Canada. It was amazing. That's a room full of people who could book speakers. And I promote the Bureau everywhere I go, even when I'm there as a speaker. So let's look at this. This is on your action guide. If you've already been paid to speak, if not, just answer the ones about 2018. What is the top fee you earned last year? And it doesn't matter if it was $300 or $5,000 or $10,000, put that in. And then put down, what do you want your top fee to be this year in 2018? And we're already there. My goodness, February. What do you want your top speaking fee to be this year? And if you've never spoken before, you might put 500 down. You might put 5,000. This is for you to look at later. What's been your average fee last year? So say you spoke 10 times last year and 5 of them were free and 5 of them you made $5,000. So then your average fee would be $2,500 because you can't count that. And that's all the math I can do because I'm blonde here. So what do you want your average fee to be this year? Do you want to speak less for free? You're going to understand with Insider Secrets how to take those non-paid gigs and turn them into your biggest payday ever. So I will speak for anything. I'll speak at the opening of an envelope, okay? How much did you earn last year total? How much do you want to earn this year from speaking? And then what's the gap? Are you ready to close it? In fact, I'll tell someone if they book me, I'll give them 25% of my fee because it would be a fee I wouldn't have without it. All right, so answer those for yourself. The truth is that often, in spite of standing ovations and accolades, most speakers don't earn enough money to put gas in their car to get home. And it's because they never discover how to monetize their speaking careers. So let's find out why. This is probably my favorite and the most important slide that you're going to see in this program. You'd never try to fly an airplane without first taking flying lessons, would you? If you've ever walked in the cockpit, I know it's harder to do today, but if you've ever seen the cockpit of a jetliner, there are about, 1,000 buttons in there, and not one of them says take off or land. It's very complicated. And yet, we become authors and speakers every day, all the time. We don't really understand what the difference is. And I think it's because we're speaking from the time we're toddlers and we start writing by, kindergarten, if not before. We can write our name and our address, whatever. And so we don't realize that speaking is an industry. Publishing and writing are industries. I was so naive when I wrote my first book. I don't know how I got it out there because we write and we speak all the time. We don't realize that it's an industry and we need to understand how it works to succeed at it. So over the next hour, I'm going to show you how the speaking industry really works. I love pulling back the curtain, and I've got 10 insider secrets tips in case you didn't figure this out. I'm the industry insider because I'm president of a speakers bureau. I write and I speak. So I'm going to share the biggest, and Karie's pretty qualified too, right? So I'm going to, and didn't you learn a lot when you started representing other speakers too?
Yes.
Yeah. It really, it's eye-opening. So I'm going to share the biggest mistakes, the importance of a powerful platform, how to do what the wealthy do, that's exciting. The 3 different types of speakers. Did you even know there were 3 different types of speakers? And what every speaker should know what every speaker should know about the speaking industry before struggling one more day. Okay, I was editing that last night. Can you tell? All right. And I'm usually working on these like the night before, trying to make sure they're absolutely perfect. I'm sorry, that was my typo for today. I'll share insider secrets to earning 6 figures as a speaker and how you can make more money in one day than you ever thought possible, plus how to set your speaking career on fire. Doesn't that sound exciting? And you will have all of this information by the time we're done today. You're about to discover incredible secrets and insights about the speaking industry that took me nearly 10 years to learn and almost $250,000. That might sound insane unless you've spent a couple $10,000 tuitions for courses, hired coaches, people to help you. I hear from speakers all the time that they have spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to figure out this industry. It's not necessary. I have a real special offer for you later. And if I can do it, so can you. Stay tuned too. We have a mind-blowing opportunity for just a few speakers and writers. You could be one of them. And you know, Karie, I was telling you before that I did a webinar on Tuesday with a publisher, and it's just, everybody said, oh, these webinars are just a pitch fest. I'm like, yes, I have a wonderful opportunity for you at the end of this. It's a tremendous value, but I want you to stick with us till the end because I have great nuggets. In fact, I have a nugget from Napoleon Hill about making decisions that'll really help you with the whole rest of your life. Let's start with Insider Secrets. Tip number 1, establish your credibility. Why should people listen to you? Why should they buy your book? Why should they hire you as a coach, a speaker, a consultant, whatever they're going to hire you for? So I thought I should establish my credibility for you first. This is why I can help you. In 2006, I believe that's more than 10 years ago, I founded the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. If you don't have my URL, please write it down. It's LV like Las Vegas, C for convention, SB for speakersbureau.com. And Las Vegas has more than 11 million square feet of convention space. So as a speaker, I was speaking and writing, and I thought, gosh, you know, if I'm not, whoops, is that your Outlook, Karie?
Nope.
No, somebody's emails are dinging in. So I don't know what that is. Anyway, I think, you know, maybe it's mine.
I'm like, okay. I think I'm logged off of everything.
Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Anyway, we have 11 million square feet of convention space. And so I thought, if I'm not right for your speaking gig, let me find you someone who is. And that was very naive of me, but look at where we are today. Today, I normally get to work with people, experts that I used to only see on television or read their books. Captain Jim Lovell, that was probably like a huge honor for me. One of the biggest, because he's from Apollo 13, you may remember. And the movie was just on last night. I went on a little bit. He was 83 when I booked him. He's an engineer. He was amazing. And then Brian Tracy's been in my movies, Jack Canfield, Les Brown, I've worked with him, and Marcy Shimoff. I regularly book speakers for keynote presentations and breakout sessions. The reason I have those underlined is so that I remember to tell you what the difference is between these two. Karie, do you know the difference between a keynote and a breakout?
Absolutely. Do you want me to describe it?
Sure.
Keynote is when you're on stage, obviously for 45 minutes on average to 90 minutes in front of the entire conference. Breakout sessions are like mini workshops after the event, or, you know, and I've been to many events where they have multiple different speakers and you can kind of choose. It's more intimate. But I think of it as more of a workshop type setting, in my opinion.
Right. A keynote too is when everybody at the conference is in one room. So even if it's a conference of 100, 150 people, it could be a breakfast keynote, a lunchtime keynote, a closing keynote, opening keynote. And everybody at the event is in one room. And a breakout session is when they go off into other rooms. So if there's 150 people at a meeting, believe it or not, not all conferences have 20,000 people. But breakout is maybe 3 groups of 50. And sometimes a meeting planner will want you to do the exact same breakout session 3 times for different rooms, which is silly. They should just have you do the keynote speech, right?
Right.
Okay. This is my body of work with publishing, The Art of the Business Lunch, Building Relationships Between 12 and 2, which is actually a sales book, not a business lunch book, not a lunch book. But because of the title of my book, I do get asked to speak on etiquette, which is hilarious if you've seen me eat. But I had to study etiquette because I don't want to leave money on the table if I can speak on that. But you want that focus. I contributed to Chicken Soup for the Wine Lover's Soul, which was a great tie-in. Should you drink alcohol when you're out on a client lunch? I've contributed to other anthologies, and I published 3 of my own that were anchored by Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and Les Brown. And I had the pleasure, the privilege of being interviewed all over the world: London Financial Times, Canada's Globe and Mail, Rediff.com in India, MSNBC, the BBC, etc. So when you publish a book, this is a great opportunity to help define your brand, and then you can speak about it, which really helps. Most recently, I started making movies with some stars you probably recognize, award-winning movies. These stars trust me with their reputations. They agreed to be in my movies. And the experts who are in these gain success by association, which is marketing gold for them. So now that you know as much about me as my dentist, let's move on to Insider Secrets tip number 2. You want to avoid these professional speakers' mistakes and misconceptions. Most speakers really do make every mistake in the book, and I'm not proud to say that I did in the beginning too. At least I learned finally. They don't understand how the speaking industry works. They rely on fee-based gigs. I'll get into that in a second. They create and try to sell the wrong products. Again, most motivational speakers are passion-driven. I think you'll agree. You became a speaker because you have a message you want to share, you're passionate about it. And the problem is you let your passion design your products too, and that makes it even harder to make money from them. And they don't understand how really easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak. Success as a speaker is not just about being a great presenter. It's about understanding how the business works, how the speaking industry works. Of course, being a great presenter helps too. I have uncovered some really serious problems, and these are things that I've learned as president of the Speakers Bureau. First, I hear from speakers all the time how much money they've spent, how many training programs they've taken, and they're still struggling. Most speaker training programs fail to address how the industry actually works or how speakers can monetize their message and their expertise. You can have a great program, a dynamite program, but you're still going to struggle to make ends meet. Also, speaking is a very crowded field. Industry experts are often willing to speak for free. And I'll tell you, there's a new trend where meeting planners will trade you admission to the conference, which sometimes, attending a conference is $495. Sometimes it's $1,400 or $2,495. You'll do a breakout or a keynote session. You get to attend the conference for free. Well, that's great, but do I really need to go to a medical conference? I can speak on the keys to success at a medical conference, but I don't need to meet everybody at the medical conference. So it's not a good opportunity for me. If I'm speaking on the Art of the Business Lunch, I'm your girl. But if I'm speaking on networking, there are probably 3,000 networking speakers in the US alone. So it becomes very crowded. So how can I stand out? Countless speakers on the very same topic. And the topics, like leadership, sales, team building, diversity, overcoming adversity, those are some of the main topics. And one of the tips that I give actually at the end of the first module of Insider Secrets is, if you want to see who else is out there speaking on your topic, go to YouTube, search your topic followed by the word speaker, and spend an hour or two watching everybody else and ask yourself, how can you and your message stand out so that you can achieve your financial goals? Because there are so many people speaking on the same subject. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying that so that you understand where you stand so that you can get to the top of your field. Okay. So if you look at your action guide on the second page, the top 3 mistakes most speakers make, and that's it. They rely on fee-based gigs. They create and try to sell the wrong products. They don't understand how the industry works so that they can get paid to speak. All right. So we're going to look more closely at the top 3 mistakes. Number 1 is not understanding how the speaking industry works, or how really easy it is to earn 6 figures as a speaker once you know the secrets. Most speakers rely on fee-based speaking engagements. This is when a speakers bureau or a meeting planner calls you and says, hey, Karie, we've got a budget of $1,500. Maybe your fee is, what's your fee, Karie? 5,000, 10,000?
Yeah, 5, no more than 5.
Okay. So if I say, here, I know your fee is 5,000, but I've got this meeting and it's only 20 people or 50 people and our budget is $1,500. Would you be willing to do it? Well, now what's happening is the speaker's bureau or the meeting planner is dictating how much you're going to make. So it doesn't matter if your fee is $50,000, they're offering you $1,500. And that's why speakers starve to death. They don't understand. The other thing is that bureaus want to book you once you no longer need them to. You know whose dance cards are full is the girl who had a shark bite off her arm. Everybody wants her to speak. The guy who cut his arm off under a rock, he was mountain climbing and a boulder fell on his arm. Those, bureaus want to book them. They don't need a bureau to book them. So if you just rely on fee-based speaking engagements and you're not proactive in your own speaking career, that's a key to struggling. Now, Karie, I have this in red, just so you can chime in. What is a platform and why do you need one? And I would love for you to chime in on this about your platform, what it will mean to your career as a speaker.
I see it as something very similar as your niche in business. So many people want to speak on every broad topic out there, but that's not what gets you hired, in my opinion. It's more or less what your branding is about. For example, I'm women empowerment, and my books are all about women empowerment. So naturally, that's the area I want to play in. I'm not going to go to a medical field and teach them about sales.
Right.
Or something of that
right.
nature.
You're going to get invited to a women's conference. So right. A platform is really your accomplishments, like everything I just shared with you about me, that I've been interviewed in international media. I am an award-winning author. I have award-winning films. I'm a speaker. I own a speakers bureau. Those are my accomplishments. That's my platform. Now, and I'm not to talk about myself, but it's the easiest example I can draw on. As my platform, I'm the queen of the business lunch. I personally hosted more than 3,000 client lunches, and I saw my sales increase by more than 2,000%. So if you are doing a sales meeting and you want to motivate a sales team, I would be the one you would bring in based on my platform, my accomplishments, my claim to fame. It's what people are saying about you, how they can distinguish you. And from this point on, I want everyone listening to this, start thinking about building your platform. In fact, I remember when MSNBC called me for an interview, I was on cloud nine because when I started speaking, every successful speaker had wonderful national news clips of themselves weighing in on their topic. I was like, I want a clip like that. And I have one, and it's on my robinj.com site. So that contributes to my platform. It's like, hey, if they're coming to me for advice, so can you. And it's that. So you want to define yourself. The other thing I want to add here is you can speak on several topics and you can put them on your website, all the different topics. I speak on presentation skills. I speak on getting published. I speak on personality types and the keys to success. But my platform is built on being the queen of the business lunch. I can always, I can speak on networking, which is kind of a derivative of that. So how do you navigate a networking event? So you can do all those, but when you go to bill yourself, when you promote yourself, you really want to dominate one field. And that's really, and I go into that a lot in the online course about how important it is to really narrow down that niche, as you mentioned, Karie, that, who are you and why are you the best person to speak on this one topic? Okay. Does anyone in the room have any questions? Because feel free to jump in there, type a question in the text bar, and, we'll get right on it. Okay. All right. If you set yourself on fire, and this is part of what I was just saying, if you search Art of the Business Lunch Speaker, who comes up? Well, there's my book on Amazon. There's my speaking site. There's an abstract of my book. There's a video of me speaking on the Art of the Business Lunch. And this is all Google page 1 out of 21 million responses. There I am at another speakers bureau. There's my speakers bureau. When I get a request to book a speaker, the first place I go to is lvcsb.com. I'll tell you why, because I set them on fire too. I look at my speakers bureau site and I see if I have the right speaker for the right budget. If I don't, I'm on Google. I go to Google and I'll search networking speaker, or I will search sales speaker or futurist speaker, or whatever I've got a request for. So what you want is you want me to be able to find you. You want the meeting planners and the speakers bureau to be able to find you. And that's what I mean when I say set yourself on fire. Speaking of the bureau, you see the first listing is an ad for Vegas Means Business, which is our Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Every big city has a CVA or a CVB bureau. And that doesn't bother me because if you look at the last listing, that's my listing on Vegas Means Business. So even if they click on the ad, they're going to find me if they're looking for speakers. And then the two in the middle, the first and second organic listings are also for my speakers bureau. So this is what I do. And that comes from blogging and posting and press releases. And I do everything to get the bureau noticed and get it out there and set it on fire. Okay, insider secrets, tip number 3, and this is on your action guide. You want to write this down. You never want to be a specialist. Can you guess why? Specialist contains the word Cialis in it. Now, I don't know anyone else who will tell you this because when I learned it, I was like, get out. If you're sending out emails or you're on your website or press releases, whatever, because it has that word Cialis in it, I'm sure you all get spam, and it has words that are misspelled, and it has, asterisks and stars and stuff. Trying to disguise the word Cialis. Your emails and press releases could possibly bounce. When I started out, I thought I was going to be a business relationship specialist, and specialist sounds so special, but it's not. Try and use the word expert instead. Okay, back to the top 3 mistakes that speakers make. They create and try to sell the wrong products for the wrong reasons. You want to start with the end in mind. Building products, and you might say, well, I have a book, and the book sells for $14.99 or $19.99. That is not going to pay your mortgage. Maybe books pay John Grisham's mortgage or Stephen King's, but thank you, Scott. I try to be hilarious. Okay, building products to sell is not important. It's mandatory. And the good news is these can cost next to nothing to create, and I can show you how to do this. It's so easy. But I remember I started speaking because I was speaking to sell my books in the back of the room. And I remember doing an event nearby at a golf course in their meeting room. And I took a suitcase full of everything I had, my anthologies, my Art of the Business Lunch, Chicken Soup for the Soul. That suitcase was so heavy. Do you know that I sold everything? I grossed about $400. I have to buy my books for 50% off cover price. I netted about $200. I spent a day working on the PowerPoint, customizing it. I was there at 6:30 in the morning to rearrange tables and seats and set up the audio visual. I busted my butt speaking, worked so hard, sold everything I brought. I think I even took orders, and I netted $200. So what was my take on that? Like $5 an hour? It's terrible. So you really do need better products to sell. It's mandatory if you're going to be successful. You have to have a reason for creating your product because there is a demand for it, and then share the reason why you created it. This could be tricky, but it shouldn't be. Here's why I created Insider's Secrets, this webinar, and my online course, because these are real examples from my inbox. My name is Jennifer, and I work with Dr. Johnson. I get emails from doctors all the time. People want to know how to sign up, how to become an official speaker of the Speakers Bureau, send us an application. The other big mistake they make, we just touched on that. I speak on a broad range of subjects. Oh, well, you're everything to everybody. That doesn't work. I need experts. Speakers looking for more paid opportunities to speak. Okay, you and the other 20,000 speakers in the United States of America are looking for more paid opportunities, and on and on and on. And seriously, I was going to do the Keys Academy, featuring an online course featuring the experts in my movies. And one day I got 3 emails from people who wanted to be listed with the Speakers Bureau. And I was like, oh my goodness, speakers really just don't understand how the industry works. I need to do something about that. And so I created Insider Secrets. Plus, most speakers I talk to are broke. So I really wanted to help speakers monetize their message. Insider Secrets tip number 4. And if you turn the page on your action guide, we're on the next page. Creating awesome products. It's easier than you think. You just have to make them something people need, and you can fill in the blanks here, so you stay with us. Something people need, something people want, and something you know a lot about. My purpose today is to get your wheels turning There's got to be some areas that you know more about than anyone else. Now, I've hosted, my claim to fame was more than 3,000 client lunches. I think it's more like 4,000. And yes, there are countless people who go to business lunches every day who have done more, but I wrote the book on it. So, and I am the queen of the business lunch. I trademarked that. My book is award winning. It's in 12 languages around the world. So I am that expert. So I could create, I don't know, if I wanted to create something, if I was promoting myself as a speaker, I might create the business lunch success kit, something like that. So that's where I'm trying to get you to go. Starting with a book is a great idea. You want your products, whatever they are, to always deliver exceptional value. Here I am on the red carpet of my first movie premiere with Jack Canfield, Marcy Shimoff, and John Gray. And they are some of the most super successful speakers working today. And I want to touch on why they are so successful. Books can make you rich. It made them rich because they use their books to define themselves as an expert. It's a great way to start your speaking career. Do you all have a book? If you have a book already, type yes in the chat bar. I try to keep it easy so you don't have to work too hard. But type yes in the chat bar if you have a book already. And if not, I want you to start thinking about doing one. Look at Jack started out with Chicken Soup for the Soul. Great. And then he got tired of just sharing warm, fuzzy stories. So he wrote the Success Principles because they sold more than 500 million copies of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Marcy Shimoff is the reason Chicken Soup for the Soul became a series. She had the idea to do for the woman's soul, for the mother's soul, and pretty soon it was like for the dog lover's soul, and so on. She's got her own books on Happy for No Reason, Love for No Reason. And then you can't dispute John Gray's success, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. That became like pop culture. They have more ways to build their empires, and it all started with a book. Jeff Walker in the book Launch wrote, no matter what you want to learn, someone has spent a lifetime studying it. Learn from them. I've done this. I started out self-publishing my book. I sold it to a publisher. What did Scott say? I think about it all the time. Brian says, people are constantly asking me to write a book on my knowledge. Exactly. So what are you waiting for? And you know, the biggest challenge of writing a book, people always say, oh, it's so hard. I finally got my book written. That's when it begins. That's like a horse in the gate. Getting the horse in the gate is writing the book. Now the bell rings and you have to win the race. And so I don't want to say that to intimidate you. I'm just saying it because you really want the help, you know, like this quote from Jeff Walker. Find someone who has done what you want to do and learn from them. All right, Insider's Secrets. Tip number 5. Your dream can come true. You can achieve financial freedom from speaking. You can supplement your income as a speaker, and you can define yourself as an expert. You just need to take the time to understand how the expert industry works. It is a business, just like flying an airplane is a business. Discover the keys. That'll help you discover the keys to achieving all you want. Let's define financial freedom. Let me put a poll up here. I know I have a financial freedom poll. Okay. So let me see here. What would you do if you had financial independence? Would you spend more time with loved ones? Would you enjoy life more, travel more? And this always never surprises me on my webinars. Work on something you're passionate about. That's always the one that just lights up. People just want enough money in the bank so they can do what they want to do. Here we go. Defining financial freedom, having all the money you want and having the free time to enjoy it. Because one without the other is useless. You know, if you have only free time, then you're probably unemployed or independently wealthy. Or if you have all the money you want, you're probably working too hard to get there. So everybody has weighed in on this poll. Okay, travel more. And you know, you can travel as a speaker. You can travel all the time as a speaker and enjoy life more. Okay. Jack Canfield said, when your vocation feels like a vacation, you have arrived. And that is the truth. They also say, you know, you'll never work another day in your life once you are doing what you love. Okay. Tip number 6, you can learn from the rich and successful. Remember I said, do what the wealthy do. Where you are financially today is a result of what you've been doing for the last 5 or 10 years. If you're going to become a wealthy speaker, you have to do what the wealthy do. Invest in yourself. Who knows what OPM or OBM is? Just type it real fast in the chat bar if you know. You've heard that it takes money to make money, but it doesn't have to be your money. Usually, yeah, I know there's a delay, but moving forward, other people's money, other banks' money, credit cards, right? The difference between the rich and poor is that the poor use the power of debt for instant gratification. They buy items with their credit cards that cost them money and decrease in value, things like big screen TVs. I'm always amazed, you probably are too, when you go to a Costco or Best Buy or Sam's Club, and people have their SUVs backed up there. They're loading up these big screen TVs that aren't worth anywhere near what they paid for them 2 minutes ago. Cars, you drive them off the lot, they take a $5,000 to $10,000 ding. Technology, how many of you have bought a computer or a watch, an Apple Watch, and the next day you get home and they're second generation? And guess what? Your brand new watch is old. Jewelry, unless you're buying investment grade 4-carat stones or bigger, jewelry will not hold its value. And vacations, do you really want to put a vacation on a credit card and be paying on that, years later on a wonderful dinner that you had in Maui? This is not what the wealthy use their credit for. Wealthy and successful use the power of debt to make money. They use their credit to invest in things that will increase in value, things like education, real estate, and the stock market. And say what you will about the stock market, even last week it was a little up and down, but overall, it's a great way to invest too. So let me ask you this. Are you where you think you should be at this point in your speaking career? Now, if you're just starting, I would say yes, you're exactly where you think you should be. And you can chime in on the chat bar. If not, are you ready to start earning what you think you're worth and not what someone else, some meeting planner or speakers bureau has determined, and start living your dream? And I'll tell you, being listed with speakers bureaus is part of a successful speaker strategy, but there is so much more to it, and that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're not, type yes in the chat bar. If you're ready to start earning what you think you're worth, not what someone else has determined, and start living your dreams. Scott says, I'm so ready. I love that. Okay, here is Insider Secrets tip number 7, and I want you to write these down because you'll want to remember them when we're all done. The 3 types of speakers. Did you even know that there's 3 types of speakers? General, public, and paid. So now that you know there's 3 types of speakers, which type of speaker do you want to become? Let's look at the differences. General speakers are the more than 18,000 speakers listed with Washington Speakers Bureau, leading authorities, Kepler's, all the speakers bureaus in the country. And since this is a global webinar, all around the world, right? They're talented, they teach, they entertain, and motivate. It also includes everyone in every Toastmasters in the world, and there are tens of thousands of Toastmasters. It's called Toastmasters International for a reason. Industry experts, we talked about them, people who are happy to just get up and share their knowledge. They have a job, so they're not looking to monetize their expertise or lead their field. General speakers will speak for whatever they can get, whenever they can get it. They'll often speak for free and to any size audience. When they speak for free, they're basically hoping to sell product, BOR, industry term for back of the room, but they usually don't. And yes, there have been times when I've sold my entire suitcase full of books. And then there are times when you come home with that really heavy suitcase and there's nothing sadder than lifting that into your trunk because you didn't sell anything. You're like, I wanted to come home with an empty suitcase. I came home from, I think it was Orange County once with an empty suitcase. It was flipping around behind me. I couldn't hardly roll it. It was so empty, which was really fun. General speakers hope to get popular and land that big $10,000 to $20,000 keynote. Now, occasionally, a general speaker will get hot. They have the right message at the right time, maybe a TV show or a viral video. There's Larry Winget, the Pitbull of personal development. Great tag name. He had a TV show on A&E, and he's a consultant on many of the networks as a financial consultant. And then Judson Lapely did The Evolution of Dance, which if you haven't seen that, make a note and look that up when we're done because it's hilarious. He's since done several. And he's a speaker. He speaks on change. And so he illustrated change by going through the different dances over the years. I tried to book him. Here's the great news. When I talked to him the first time, his fee was $3,000. After his video went viral, His fee was like $12,000 or $15,000. I tried to book him anytime between August and December, the year that his video went hot, and he was not available. He could not squeeze in one trip to Las Vegas between August and Christmas. So the catch-22 is a bureau will want to book you once you no longer need them to. All right, moving on. I hope I'm not going too fast for everybody. I just wanted to share all of this with you. Public speakers. Public speakers are always famous. Now, this is kind of misunderstood. We speak in public, so we think we're public speakers. Public speakers really means famous, well-known speakers. They always keynote. They will be in the center stage in front of everybody. They're getting paid $15,000 to $100,000 per presentation. They're not worried about selling products. Their average audience, 500 to 20,000 people. They use the platform to educate, entertain, and motivate the audience. Now, I've heard Joe Montana speak, former sports people. You know, if you've ever been to one of those like Peter Lowe seminars with 20,000 people in an arena, they'll always have a few public speakers peppering the platform. So you go because you want to hear them just because they're famous and appealing that way. Here's some examples of public speakers. I heard Rudy Giuliani speak. He's a very good speaker, actually. Politicos, anybody who's been in the political arena. Former athletes, they can't make their money, you know, they're not athletes anymore. They're retired, as are leading ladies. You know, they're not getting those leading roles anymore. So they become speakers. This is a unique situation. J.B. Bernstein, who created the $1 Million Arm contest, John Hamm played him in the movie $1 Million Arm. JB took himself, by getting this movie optioned and made, he took himself from being an industry expert speaker, because he's a sports agent, to becoming a public speaker, and he's wonderful. Michio Kaku, the physicist, he's got his own show on the Science Channel, and he does morning talk shows. And there's my friend Jack Canfield, who went from being a general speaker to becoming a public speaker. When I talk about him, people may not know his name, but they sure know Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, my favorite subject, paid speakers. Happy to speak for free. What? I know you're probably thinking, how do they make so much money if they're speaking for free? They might even pay you to speak. And believe me, I've had some speakers tell me that they will speak for free. I can sell them for whatever I can sell them for, book them for whatever I can book them for, and I can keep their fee because they know they're going to make their own payday. This is because they base their presentation on science and psychology. They are speaking directly to their audience's subconscious minds. They'll even split take for the room or sales, sometimes as much as 50-50. And this is key. They use the platform to sell what they teach. It's a huge shift, a huge shift. Here's some examples of paid speakers. Tony Robbins makes about $400 million a year. I want to say this, I hate to give it all away. Tony Robbins is not sitting around waiting for a speakers bureau to call him. Yes, I would love to call him and book him for a paid gig, but he is busy as a speaker could be. So is Deepak Chopra, Brendan Burchard. Brendan was bragging he was making like $50 million last year. Marsha Weeder, you may not have even know who she is, America's Dream Coach. She's been on Oprah. She's in 7 figures. Marcy Shimoff, my friend, is in 7 figures. And there's Jack Canfield. Again, they are making their own payday. They're tremendously successful paid speakers. So I hope that you're digesting that, making notes. Insider secret tip number 8, and this is the big game changer. Most speakers are general speakers trying to fit the role of public speaker, trying to become so famous and have that best-selling book, become a public speaker. This is why they're not making any money. They never become paid speakers because they don't even understand that that category exists. The good news is, now that you know, I can show you how to become a paid speaker. Doesn't that sound exciting? Is this blowing your mind? Because I always call this my mind-blowing webinar. And I'm like, because when I learned this, I remember one of my friends who was a trainer spending, oh my God, schlepping across the country, making $800 a day, standing in high heels for 8 hours a day. She turned to me and said, where was this information when I started? She had been a trainer for 10 years. And we both felt that way. The struggle is over. So you might be saying, but Robin, I'm really talented and unique. What about that? Well, That's Insider Secrets tip number 9 if you look in your action guide. Thank you, Jan, for weighing in. It is brilliant. I couldn't wait to share this with everybody because I hate to hear about speakers struggling. All right, Insider Secrets tip number 9, the talent factor. You can be really, really talented. I've got news for you. Earning $10,000 or more per speech is not based on talent. It's based upon a presentation built on science and psychology. This is when you speak to your audience's beliefs, paradigms, and subconscious minds. And this is what paid speakers do. This is how they know they're going to make them set a bigger payday for themselves than speaking for a particular fee. Okay? Now, I learned this. I think I'd been speaking about 4 years when I discovered this. And so I took my new knowledge for a test drive. You thought I was going to say I went out and bought this car, right? No, I took my new knowledge for a test drive so I could go out and buy a car like that. I was hired to speak by a friend. We all get invited by our friends to go speak. I spoke at a NAWBO luncheon, which is National Association of Women Business Owners. And I spoke on the keys to financial freedom. And I spoke for free. And I made more than $6,000 speaking for 20 minutes to a room. It was at Lowry's restaurant here in Las Vegas. And I spoke for 20 minutes to a room with about 50 women in it. And I made $6,000. I'm telling you, I sang all the way home. I giggled. I laughed. I was like, that was so easy. I did just a few little tweaks. I used science and psychology in my presentation, and it worked. I mean, this stuff works. It's like magic. So how come most speakers don't understand how easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak? When I started on this, I was like, why is that? Well, I think I know. And this is Insider Secrets tip number 10. Why most speakers think earning big bucks for speaking is hard to do. And if you're a member of the National Speakers Association, I'm going to give you my apologies right now. They proudly report that 95% of their members earn less than $50,000 annually from speaking. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't consider that a great living, not in this economy, okay? And it's probably, the few people I know who know people in NSA say it's probably more than 95%, because most speakers will fudge. They'll say, oh, I had 200 engagements last year. Well, how many of those were paid? And how many of those were for your exact fee? You know, so they tend to fudge. They also, the NSA offers a designation, a CSP, Certified Speaking Professional. And yes, it's a very prestigious designation because you have to show that you made more than $50,000 a year for at least 5 of the last 10 years. Well, that leaves out industry experts and other really great qualified speakers who aren't earning exclusively from speaking, which is most every general speaker in the world. I can help you. Can you imagine creating an event where you could earn 10 times more than you invested to do it? And if even just one person pays, you'll make a profit? I can show you how to do this. It's just one of the many ways to take control of your speaking income. I've done it. It's super easy. In fact, I did an event. I wanted to get my Millionaire Speaker Boot Camp, which I was selling for $24.95. I wanted it on film, and I wanted like an hour-long version of it. And I rented a room up at the Hampton Inn, and I had probably 20 people, of whom, you know, most of them were my friends or other speakers that I brought up on stage. And I had 6 people pay me, and then I hired a videographer. We broke for lunch. I didn't even pick up lunch. I had granola bars and water and stuff for everybody. And even with videotaping it, I made several $1,000s, and I worked for 4 hours. It was one of the easiest times I ever made thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm telling you, you can do this. You just have to know how to do it. Okay, Insider Secrets tip number 11. It doesn't take a lot of people to earn a lot of money. I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions is we think we have to speak in front of a room of 500 people or 1,000 people to start making really good money. You can speak in front of 10 people, 20 people. If it's the right people, your right audience, you can make a lot of money. So when we talk about getting started, you really just need to decide you really want to become a paid speaker. Stop relying on fee-based gigs. Learn ways to earn what you're worth. Build proper credibility. Become the dominant expert in your field through products, marketing, promotion, videos, publicity, and great search engine optimization. Discover how to use science and psychology to start earning more right away. Have you learned more so far? Oh my gosh, it's not even an hour yet. I talked so fast. I hope that wasn't too fast for you. It's surprising to see some of how the speaking industry really works. There I am looking surprised. Have you found this helpful? I hope so. I think it's been an incredible hour. I tried to share as much as I possibly could in this hour. Let me ask you a question. This is your last question. Do you want to know what else you can do to further your career and start getting paid to speak? If so, type yes in the chat bar and I'll share this incredible opportunity with you. So just type yes in the chat bar if you want to know what else you can do to start getting paid to speak. I am so excited to announce this. I've been working on it for more than a year. The Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau presents Insider's Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. I built an 8-week crash course, 8 weeks, 2 months, that will change your speaking career forever and show you how to monetize your message, how to monetize your speaking career. And it contains 4 insane bonuses. So what the course contains, here's what you'll get. I love it. Okay, super, Jan. Yeah, we'll go over that. I was saying earlier that there will be a replay, but if you want to wait a few hours, like probably 3 hours to go back in and listen, I'll have an edited version, or you can just fast forward through the dead time in the beginning. We started at about 5 after the hour. Okay. I created an online course that will change your life along with your speaking career. In module 1, I know I shared a few speaker mistakes this time, but there are, I think, 15 big speaker mistakes that most speakers make. So I don't want you to speak again until you see these. The course starts out really easily. The top mistakes most speakers make and how to avoid them or resolve them. Okay. We really get into the meat on the second one when I talk about the nuggets. This is the science and psychology behind earning more every time you speak. I'm going to share with you in the second module the nuggets that will help you to earn more, how to speak to your audiences, subconscious minds, belief systems, and paradigms. And this is golden. This is what I used, the information I used to go speak for free for 20 minutes to 50 people and made $6,000. It's absolute gold. It's just, that's why I use gold nuggets for it, because that way you can wrap your head around the nuggets and it'll blow your mind. It really will. You just say, I can't believe it's been there all along and you didn't know it. Okay. Module 3, simply irresistible. Do this if you want to succeed. You'll discover what it takes to create irresistible offers, secrets for how and when to present. And so you can close bigger sales more easily, more often. Now, I don't want that little graphic there to blow your mind, but all of this is in the course. How to have a responsive website, do videos, send press releases, what kind of testimonials to get, how many bios you need and what they should say, what constitutes a great headshot, blogs, publicity, podcast, how to turn your topic into a hot topic. So in module 4, in fact, it was funny because the woman, the publisher that I worked with on Tuesday, took the course and she said, oh my God, it's not just like how to make a great PowerPoint. It's like how to present. It's so comprehensive. She really couldn't believe it. And she's in the business. So module 4 is a content-packed segment where you'll discover what you need to know to market yourself, create explosive products, reach a global audience with your message, and so much more. You'll also get insider secrets to publishing. You'll get to meet a super successful literary agent, author, and micro-publisher, Deb Herman. Together, we'll share the ins and outs of today's ever-changing publishing landscape and help you see which publishing solution is best for your success. Some of you said you're thinking about writing a book. This is the way to go. I actually met Jeff and Deb Herman in 2003 at the Maui Writers Conference. They were speaking there. And that's a very old picture that we managed to get. And then Deb and I reconnected a few years ago, and she's incredible. She has sold 11 books. And her last book was #1 on Amazon in October, November. She focuses on spiritual writing usually, though her big book, she had a 6-figure deal on this book that went #1 on Amazon. And it wasn't a #1 on Amazon campaign. It organically hit #1. She really knows everything. And I asked her, because I've self-published, I've sold my work, I've published anthologies, I contributed. We covered everything, author services, which ones to go with, which are best for you. Everybody loves this segment, this module. They just flip and I hear a lot about it. Then we have Gretchen Bruner, who's a speaker marketer. She's going to share information to help you avoid years of struggling, including how to find those fee-based gigs in your own backyard and online. And one of the things that she covers is that if you're not comfortable making sales calls, you don't have to. Gretchen tells you how to get around that. She's awesome. And then we have Module 7, Insider Secrets, Automate Your Income. Bryce Kuhlman, who's a coder, big-time geek, created Wisdom Robot to help speakers offer their products online. In fact, Insider Secrets is on Wisdom Robot, of course. That's why I invited him to be a part of this. This is a lot like cloning yourself. He has your key to product creation and income automation, where you'll discover how to earn high perpetual income online by creating evergreen campaigns that run 24/7, making money for you while you sleep. This is so priceless. In fact, I love to hear from speakers who woke up in the morning with sales in their inboxes. In fact, one guy I know was selling drumming lessons. Now, wouldn't you just think you would have to be there and it would be so tactile? He'd have to show you how to hold your drumsticks and all. I guess, think about it. You could do that on video. And he had a $1,250 sale when he woke up, and he was blogging about it, going, oh my goodness, it works, it works. So Module 7 is Insider Secrets, how to automate your income. Plus, a live one-on-one with me that we will record as a Zoom call, where I will personally help you develop your topic into a killer branded keynote, and I'll review whatever you're working on. If you're working on your product, new product development, a manuscript for your book, a website, presentation, PowerPoints, whatever you need, this is a great opportunity. We'll record it so you can go back to it and see it whenever you want. So I can personally help you achieve your six-figure success. I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but I have been called Simon Cowell by my assistant, who kicked me under the table one day when I was telling this speaker we went to here at Bally's. I said, you really know what you're talking about, but your PowerPoint was dreadful. And she kicked me with her size 13 feet. Anyway, I give tough love, but it'll really get you where you're going faster than anything else. And I want to make sure that you discover how to put yourself together for the greatest impact online and on stage. And this is why. Because of Insane Bonus #1, you will get a minimum 2-year listing on lvcsb.com, the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. You'll be on my website and on my radar. Like I said, I look at the bureau first. I put this as a $1,500 value. When I started speaking, I had bureaus that wouldn't book me unless I was already listed on a bureau. And I paid to be listed on speakers bureaus, in particular a speakers bureau that represents women speakers. And so if I had to put a money value on this, I would put $1,500. And there is my website if you haven't seen it yet, lvcsb.com. Book a speaker, author speaker sign up, and you can check that out. Insane Bonus #2, the Certified Convention Speaker designation. You will earn a medallion that you can put on your website and after your name everywhere. And you can put CCS after your name instead of a CSP that costs $50,000 a year for 5 of 10 years, the last 10 years. This is priceless. And this is marketing at its finest. The speaking industry is so crowded. I want something to represent my bureau that meeting planners can't find at any other bureau. So I am able now to offer certified convention speakers, because I hear from meeting planners all the time. They booked a speaker, they had a jazzy website, they booked a speaker, and the speaker showed up and was a real disappointment. So they want to hedge their bets. They want to make sure that they're booking the best speaker they can get. So if they can book a certified convention speaker, that gives them a little more assurance that the speaker they're booking is going to deliver what they need for their group. And this is just seriously priceless. And you can put a CCS after your name on all your proposals, on your website, on your press releases. You can announce that you earned it. It's really marketing gold. Here's the page on the lvcsb.com. I have myself up at the top because I didn't have any I just launched this webinar in the program. So there I am. I have a few speakers on the page now, but you can see certified convention speakers. You get your headshot, a link for booking info. I get a jot form inquiry, and it's already worked. I've already had a couple inquiries from meeting planners to book some of my certified convention speakers. You get the designation, the little medallion. You get a video to put up there, your expertise, who you are, why they should book you, and your topics that you speak on. So this can be yours. Certified convention speaker medallion. Only the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau has CCS speakers. And that is marketing gold, like I said. Okay, there's more. Insane bonus number 3. I'll share mind-blowing info from my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp, where you'll discover how to use science and psychology and see how easy it is to earn $5,000, $10,000 or more in one day as a speaker. And as I mentioned, I was selling this for $24.97. I did it at my house a few times where I had people come over Saturday and Sunday for a weekend. I catered lunch and everything, and it was $24.97. So I condensed it down to the meatiest parts, the nuggets, everything, where you'll learn how to change how you present and have greater success with that. And then insider secrets to publishing. Like I said, you'll meet Deb. This is an amazing bonus. We recorded our interview 3 times till we were happy with it, which makes me laugh. We had to do it a 3rd time because she got lighting. You always want to put yourself in your best light, so to speak. And I had to wait for her to order lighting because she's like, why do you look so much better than I do? I said, I have lights on myself. So that is absolutely priceless because it'll save you thousands and thousands of dollars barking up the wrong tree or using author services publication options. There are better ways to go. Did you want to say something, Karie? Oh, I think Karie's muted. All right, so here are some testimonials about Insider Secrets. Success coach Charles Leon. He made me laugh when I read this. He wrote, "You're an absolute genius. I'm infatuated with these modules. Thank you so much for creating this program. It's truly amazing, magnificent. I want to be able to share it with others." Sarah Rainey wrote me, "Every week you get one module every week for 8 weeks. And in 8 weeks, the eighth module is our live one-on-one that I'll record." Every week she was messaging me with another wonderful testimonial about how much she was loving it. She said, "I now feel I have a roadmap to follow to achieve success as a paid speaker. Each module has a wealth of cutting edge information that I know I can use. I finally know what I'm doing. I owe it all to you and your coaching program." And Billy Arsman, who's got a master's in education, said, "I've been around 37 years and have made every mistake you shared." I'm telling you, speakers will make these mistakes if they don't know what they are and how to avoid them. "You gave truth and accurate information about the speaking business. Your strategies for creating a successful speaking career provide a great template for anyone who wants to excel in a tough business." And I agree with Billy, and I can tell you, it doesn't have to be tough. More of what you'll get in Insider Secrets. I hire speakers. Meeting planners count on me. Insider Secrets game-changing modules include everything you need to become a paid speaker and gain financial freedom or supplement your income, whatever you're interested in. Again, I'll help you develop your unique brand and message, create explosive products, tell you what you need in an amazing speaker demo video that will get you booked. I may even have a production day where I offer speakers demo videos where you would come to Las Vegas and we'll do it all in one day with a controlled audience, my award-winning filmmaking crew. It'll be fantastic. How to create an irresistible offer, the 6 elements you have to have on your speaking website, and how to determine your speaking fee and when to raise it, and how to earn thousands every time you speak. And I want you to know I offer a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. That's how sure I am that you will love this. So to summarize, you'll get the keys to 6-figure speaking, the easy online course. When I designed this, I had this price in mind because I thought it's such a huge value. I'm going to sell this for $49.97. You'll get I have a deal for you today. It's much less, much less. You'll get a listing on the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau.com website worth $1,500. You'll get the information in my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp worth $24.97. A private one-on-one strategy session with me. Plus, I have to tell you, I will be there for you all along. I'm an email away. If you need to talk, we'll schedule a phone call. But this final session worth $500, I have a webinar bonus, a 3-month group coaching call for worth $591. They're $197 a month. Insider Secrets Publishing is priceless. Access to my special guest experts is priceless. And you'll become a certified convention speaker. Priceless. Just for LVCSB speakers. It's a more than $10,000 value plus the priceless bonuses. It's more than $10,000 value, but not today. I have such a special offer. Like I said, I designed this course to go for $49.97, and I could show you my early materials where it was indeed listed for $49.97. When I launched it, I was charging $34.97. I did have speakers buy it at that, which was great. I offered a very special offer of $24.97, but today, for Karie's people, if you buy in the next 24 hours, you'll save so much. It's just $19.97, or you can make 4 easy payments of $577 each. And I'm telling you, I'm going to put the offer up here, a little buy now button in the chat bar. I think you'll be able to earn more than that the very first time you speak using the information that you learned in Insider Secrets. So within 2 months, you can start recouping this. It's just amazing. And you'll get your book and everything else you need. There's a little buy now button in there. It's a 24-hour offer, as you can see at the top of the chat bar. So you just click the buy now button to get started. And in 8 exciting weeks, you'll know how to get paid to speak and become a paid speaker. You'll be listed on the Speakers Bureau. You'll have your certified convention speaker designation. There's my email. I love being accessible. There's so much one-on-one on this that space is limited. So I want you to get started today. Seriously, 8 weeks. So this is what will happen. There's the extra special webinar bonus where you'll get 3 monthly group coaching sessions. And that's if you click the buy now button during the webinar, you'll get the, because you're doing everything new, it would be really nice to have that group call as you follow up. This is what happens if you click when you click the buy now button. You'll be taken to the sales page where it says Insider Secrets Keys to 6-Figure Speaking, and you see the little add to cart button. And you'll be able to choose if you prefer to make 4 monthly payments of $577. So you just click the add to cart button. It'll take you to the cart where you finish filling out your email, your address, everything, and your financial information. And then you will get a confirmation email like this where it will show what you bought. And then you'll get an email like this where you can start immediately. You'll get, I don't know why I pulled module 5 instead of module 1, but you'll get module 1. 2 links. You'll get to view your new content. Every week you're going to get one of these. And then you can click on the all content link to go back and review your content as much as you want. So, and each one is broken down into about 4 to 6 segments, little videos, so you can watch one when you want. It's an hour a week to change your life, which I think is so exciting. This is your chance. I know what it takes to earn 6 figures from speaking. And I really don't want to see you struggle one more day. That's why I created this course. You'll finally understand how the industry works so I can make it work for you. We're going to go live in just a few minutes. I have a little nugget from Napoleon Hill I want to share with you first. You'll have the knowledge and support you need. I've never been asked a question I can't answer yet. I should probably stop saying that. I hate to tempt the fates, but if I don't have the answer, I'll find someone to answer it for you. You can stop struggling, paying for programs that don't work. You'll earn your certified convention speaker designation, get listed on the lvcsb.com in the convention capital of North America, and discover how to earn thousands every time you speak. Okay, how many of you know Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill? This is great because some people have trouble making decisions. He was hired by Andrew Carnegie to interview the most successful, wealthy people in America at the time. And he found 16 characteristics that they all shared. And that's way too much to go through in this webinar. But the good news is that Napoleon Hill discovered that these are learned characteristics. Anybody can learn them. They're not something you're born with. The first is a burning desire. Do you really want to succeed? Do you really want where you're headed to become, in this case, a successful speaker, a published author? Burning desire. Specialized knowledge. I can tell you without even a conversation that you know something that other people don't know. You can capitalize on that. Yes, it takes discipline. It's easy, but it's discipline. I wrote the Art of the Business Lunch on Sundays between noon and 6. And I had to have all my chores, my work done, my job. I was selling advertising. I was working 50 to 60 hours a week. And I managed to write my book on Sundays. So even if you have kids or parents you're taking care of, dogs, a farm, whatever it is, it takes discipline. You just have to designate what time you're going to spend on your career. It also takes really strong associations. I can be one of the strong associations for you. Karie can too. We're here. We really love to help people and see you succeed. And then decisiveness. This is what I was talking about before. Knowing when to pull the trigger, knowing how to make a decision. There's 2 tips. Ask yourself, will this decision move me closer to my dreams? And is this decision in harmony with what I'm doing? And if you have yes, yes, that's when you know to pull the trigger and make that decision. I can tell you, you may be able to figure out the speaking industry on your own. A lot of speakers try all the time. It took me, I'm a smart girl. It took me many years and tens of thousands of dollars and running a speakers bureau to figure it all out. So why put yourself through all of that when you could be on your way in just 8 weeks by clicking the Buy Now button now? You have bonuses designed to help you with a complete, comprehensive speaker strategy. Very limited, 24-hour, highly discounted price, hoping that will help you to make your decision easier. And an unconditional money-back guarantee so you can sign up today with confidence. I just put that picture up here. It's some of my experts from the Secrets of the Keys. I'll send you links to watch my movies. Actually, the Secrets of the Keys is available for free on Amazon Prime if you want to watch that. And the Keeper of the Keys is on Gaia. So I just love them. They're all smiling. So as soon as you sign up, you'll get your first lesson. You'll immediately start to see all the ways you can monetize your message, what costly mistakes to avoid. You can start creating exciting new products that will help you to earn more and start developing your own 6-figure speaker strategy. That's one of the things I hear from people who have signed up for this is by the second week, they're like, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. I don't know where to start. They have so many ideas. Their wheels are turning. So the special offer is only available for the next 24 hours. This is your chance to claim a better future for yourself today. Karie, are you ready to go live?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, let's click our little cameras and here we go. Let me get out of the presentation mode. There we go. Hey, we're big. We can be little down in the bottom too. First, thank you to everybody who stuck around till the end. I'm going to open up the chat bar. I'm going to get rid of the Buy Now button. So if you were going to click on it, do that right now. And I'm going to put up the chat bar so we can answer your questions.